everyone! This is my easy tartan pocket shawl and I'm showing you the fabric. It's not finished yet, but I'm finishing it today. It's almost finished and just want to show you what the fabric looks like. This is the other side, so it's very pretty. I love the other side. This is a very easy pattern. I'm not sure if it may look to you that it's an easy pattern, but it's actually a repeat of just 3 rows, and this is quite a nice thick fabric, like a thick blanket or almost like a coat or fabric, but it's also still flexible enough. I just love the feel of this fabric. It feels substantial, and there is unlimited combinations of colors, of course, that you could choose to make your own pocket shawl. Just endless, and just pick your favorite colors. I picked these because I felt like these colors at the time, but if I was to make this again, I would just pick maybe something navy blue, I don't know, something pink. Depends on my mood. And this is the fringe I made. I'll show you how to make the fringe. It's nice and thick, so you don't need to worry about the ends. This is created using just the ends from the yarn that you crochet with. No extra yarn was added, and it creates a nice fringe. And this is the pocket. I made one pocket, and I thought I would leave the fringe on the pockets too. I think it will look nice. This is just the front and back post double crochet for to close in the top a little bit, and it creates an interesting pattern here. And I wanted to make deeper and slightly narrower pockets, because to cover when I would insert my hand, it would sit about something like this, and just when it covers your wrist, it feels really warm. So for this pattern, I used Lion Brand Vanna's Choice in mustard, dusty purple, and fisherman, and I'm using a 7mm hook. So to make the shawl, you will need to chain 182, and this chain creates a pocket shawl that is about 73 inches long and 20.5 inches wide, and the pockets are 9.5 by 10.5 inches. So both for the shawl and the pockets, you would need to leave, if you want the fringe, leave 10 inches long yarn tail as you begin and end your rows, roughly 10 inches, but try to have a minimum of 10 inches. So I have one pocket made, and today I need to make the next pocket. So to make the pocket, you need to chain 26, and we're starting with dusty purple. So already to begin the base chain, we're measuring roughly 10 inches, and that's where we'll start our slip knot, and we're chaining 26. Oh yeah, if you want to change the base chain for the pockets or the shawl, be sure to chain an even number of chains. So we're doing 26 for the pocket. The first row is very easy. We're make a single crochet in the second chain from hook and in every stitch, and stop at the last stitch. So this is our last stitch, and we need to change color to mustard. So insert your hook in the last stitch and pull up a loop and stop there, because the next time you yarn over and pull through is your last pulling through to complete the stitch. So we measure, we make sure we're leaving a 10-inch tail, and then we're cutting it, and then we're taking mustard color and also making sure we're leaving a 10-inch tail, and only then we're marking the point where we can join this yarn with our finger, because that's where the 10-inch is. And then you pull up the new color. The next row is also very simple. We chain 2, and the reason why I found out that if I chain 2, it creates for straighter edges rather than a chain 3. So we chain 2, then we turn, and then a double crochet in the same stitch and in every stitch. And again, we're changing color in the last stitch. So a double crochet in each stitch. So we have one stitch left. So we are starting the double crochet as usual, but when we have last 2 loops on hook, then we cut the 10-inch tail, and we're gonna pick up the dusty purple again and completing the stitch. The next row begins with chain 1 and turning and single crochet in the same stitch. And now we are going to make a front post treble in around the post from row 1, but so we're skipping the chain 1 post, which is here. It's not really a post, doesn't count as anything. Then there is the first single crochet post, we're skipping that, and then there is the second single crochet post. See, there is like 1, 2, 3. If you're not counting the first chain 1 post, then we're skipping 1. Basically, I think it's easier if we kind of mention both of them. So not counting the chain 1 post, we're skipping the single crochet post, and we're making a front post treble around the next post, which means we're yarning over twice. And wrap your hook around this post and complete your front post treble. And now we're skipping 1 stitch behind. We just made 1, so we're keeping the same stitch, and then we're crocheting a single crochet into the next stitch and repeat. Yarn over twice and insert your hook and wrap it around the single crochet post from 2 rows ago, but skip 1 after the front post treble. And it's all about creating this grid that gives you these nice lines. So this row is all about these lines in every second stitch. So skip 1, single crochet into the next, yarn over twice, front post treble around the next single crochet post after you skip 1 after the front post treble, and repeat. So the last time you make a front post treble is when you have these 3 left, and you just make 1 around the middle, and you'll have 1 left. And to end the row, you skip 1, and you single crochet into the last stitch. That's it. And don't forget that we are changing color to the fisherman. So when you have last two loops left on hook, measure a 10-inch tail and then cut it, and then pick up the new color. So you completed your row. Now we are repeating row 2 but with this different color. So chain 2, turn, double crochet in the same stitch and in every stitch. So this is your last stitch, and don't forget to change color to the mustard one. Chain 1, turn, single crochet in the same stitch and in the next stitch. And we're about to make this row, so when we make the extra single crochet here, we can see that we have aligned ourselves with this stitch, and the mustard stitch from 3 rows ago that sits between the first 2 purple stitches. So this is where we're aiming to wrap our hook around to get this effect. So it's still a front post treble and it's still yarning over twice. Completing the front post treble, and we're skipping the stitch behind, and we're single crocheting into the next stitch 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And we are making another front post treble around this post. We're skipping 1 space between these 2 posts, and we're crocheting into around this post to create spaced out teeth. And we're skipping 1 stitch behind and single crochet into the next stitch 3 times. And again, skip this post and crochet around this post, front post treble. And this is your repeat for the row. And the last time you make a front post treble is between these 2 posts. And then we're skipping 1 and single crochet in the next and in the last stitch, and we're changing color here and leaving a 10-inch tail. We're changing to fisherman, and so this is row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For row 6 we're repeating row 2 again. Chain 2, turn, double crochet in the same stitch and in every stitch. Change color to dusty purple. Chain 1, turn, single crochet in the same stitch. So this row is similar to this row, but we're making like a houndstooth pattern with our posts. So now we don't make a single crochet like here. We immediately yarn over twice and go around this little post, this little mustard post, single crochet post, and we're completing the front post treble, and then we're skipping 1 behind and single crochet in the next stitch 3 times. And again, just like this row, we keep making these posts, but around these single crochet posts right before these front post trebles. So the last time you make a front post treble is just before the last front post treble from that row. So you skip one, you single crochet in the next stitch and the next and the last, and this is your 1 2 3 4 5 6 row 7. And now, so I've shown you all the 3 types of rows that are needed to create this pattern. They are pretty simple. It's just a repeat of the same 3 rows. So the next row would be mustard, just double crochet in mustard color, and the next row is dusty purple, and repeat the little grid pattern, and it becomes easier because you've just made this post and you're going to crochet around this post and then around this middle post when you make your little grid. So you crochet around the first post, you skip one, you single crochet in the next, you crochet around, you skip one post here, you crochet around the next. So you repeat that row, then another row of mustard double, plain double crochets, and so the pattern goes, I start with 1 row of mustard double crochets, then 2 row fisherman, and then 3 rows of mustard, 2 fisherman, 3 mustard and 2 fisherman for the shawl, and that's how it goes. So for the pocket, repeat this block of pattern and colors until you have 24 rows. When you make your first row in fisherman, after you made your 3, I'm talking about the double crochet rows because it's easier, they're big. So when you make your first row of fisherman double crochet, then change color as usual, but then instead of making this row, make chain 2 and skip the first post and start making a repeat of front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet to close in the top of the pocket and create this pretty pattern here, and finish with either front or back post around the last fisherman post, and that's it. And don't forget to cut the 10-inch tail. And for the big pocket shawl, I think it's 49 rows. You start with the same as the pocket. Purple single crochet, mustard double crochet, purple grid, then fisherman, and then 3 mustard double crochet rows, 2 fishermen. So let's see how many fisherman blocks, stripes I've made. So keep going until, so you have 1 2 3 4 5, and then make the last row of mustard DC and finish with your dusty purple, because that's how you started, and this creates a nice continuity because this side matches this side. So how do we make the fringe? About the fringe, so this is the pocket shawl fringe, this is the pocket fringe, this is the other side of the pocket shawl fringe. I've started it. So when you leave your 10-inch tails, it's more than likely that still they'll be uneven. So the first step will be to trim all your tails so they're more or less even. Then notice where the color change occurred, so you'll have clusters of 2 for the posts where you change your color for every row. Also, don't forget to pull by the yarn a little bit so it's not too loose up here, because when you make your knot you'll be pulling the yarn anyway, so you want an even tension everywhere, so you're not end up with funny looking knots. So take your first cluster of 2 yarn, roughly 10-inch yarn tails, take your hook and insert the hook from behind into the gap behind the post where the color change occurred, and take your yarn tails and pull through a portion of the yarn tails, and then with your fingers roughly divide this whole section into 3, because we're forming a tassel, so like so, and you have your folded tails. And now make a simple knot and position it as close as you can to your pocket shawl edge. And pull tight. And now just cut the loops. And you'll notice that still again your tassel is not very even, so when you're done with all the yarn tails you can start trimming your tassels that you made, and that's it. And that's how you create a nice looking line of tassels, tassel fringe. And that's it, really. It's very simple. So I hope you have a lot of fun making this pocket shawl, as I have. That's why I wanted to share with you. And all you'll have to do when you finish your pocket shawl and your pockets is to, again, I usually position my pockets for the pocket shawls in the center, on each end of the pocket shawl, just in the center, and close, somewhere close to the edge. Sew the pocket on and you'll be done. So I hope you have a great day and see you next time.